Annex at the Whitley County Historical Museum, and this is where the Whitley County Genealogical Society does a lot of their research. This is what we call the family files, and here we have articles from the local newspapers that deal with last names, and if you were born here or have people here that came from this county, we might have articles about them in the family files. And on the other side we have research that people have done on their own families, and sometimes they've bound it into books. We have those, as well as other counties where families' surnames have been researched.
Okay, so this is November 13th, 2018, and this video is for the Whitley County Oral History Project from the Peabody Public Library. And we're speaking today with Dani Tippmann, who is the director of the museum. Okay, what else do we have?
The GAR also meets here, the Indiana GAR, the De La Balm chapter. And so we have the Genealogical Society and the DAR here to help with research.
Neat. Where are we going next?
This is a little display case that we have, and then we have our office where we have an assistant director, the director, and 2 part-time people who can help with research.
Okie dokie.
So we also, in addition to research, take in artifacts and prepare them. Sometimes they need help before we can store them, and then we display those things and teach about history that happened here in Whitley County.
Very good.
This is a temporary display that we have on the flags. So we have everywhere from a 44-star flag to the current 50-star flag. The 49-star flag was only the official flag for 1 year between the time when Alaska and Hawaii were adopted as states. We also have a display of the county's different churches and faiths. These are both temporary. Some of our displays are a little more permanent. So it has music, and then this has the different buildings. We have a Bible from 1813. We have a window that it has WCTU, that's the Women's Christian Temperance Union. And it was a pretty big movement in Whitley County. Temperance or prohibition was. And it's not just one faith, there's artifacts from several different faiths in here.
Okay, tell me about this over here.
This is what a typical Miami village site would have looked like. We call that Chief Little Turtle. But Chief Little Turtle was actually born in Whitley County, and he led the biggest defeat of the standing American army. Not a battle that was held in Whitley County, but he was still the leader that can lay claim to that. The Miamis had white corn, which was traded to other tribes for what they needed. And then when Europeans came into the area, they started to trade the white corn with Europeans as well. The dwellings or wikiyami of the Miami are made on the exterior with cattail leaves, on the interior with saplings, and it looks almost like a bowl that's been turned over. And on top here we have sailcloth. Typically that would have been a trade item, but they also would have had hides, either buffalo or deer hides, to shed rain over top.
And there really were buffalo in Indiana.
There really were buffalo in Indiana. That's right. Okay, just a minute. This is a little display on Whitley County citizen Morris Holtzson. He was a professor, and he was also a parakider, and he played the saw. So it's just some little things about people who live here, and those are the stories that we want to tell. Everyday
Absolutely.
history and the big history.
And we'll get pictures of this guy.
Mm-hmm. Those are Chief Little Turtle. The official portrait that he had done in the capital of the United States was burned, and these are made from memories of that one.
Okay. What's here?
So we have a little bit more about flags over here. This is, the red flag is a stripe from a Southern flag during the Civil War, and the blue stripe was a part of a flag from the Northern. And it's interesting that we have both, because we had people here who served on both sides. The banner in the middle is Mrs. Goodrich's flag that she flew in her window, and it represents the 6 children that she had that served during World War II, the Goodrich brothers. These paintings are renderings of headmen and chiefs of Miami and Potawatomi tribes. They all signed a treaty that eventually the sessions during that treaty created Whitley County. So that's why they are here. And these are contemporary to the chiefs. Those are ones that were printed at that time. This bucket here, the kettle, we could not associate it with Kilsaqua, but we were always told that it was hers. Well, then we found a picture of her with a kettle. We blew the kettle up, and all of the dents match. That is her kettle.
Very cool. Very cool.
We also have 2 little armbands or bracelets there that were found at the Pages Crossing battle site in Whitley County.
What about this over here?
This is a mastodon jaw that was found in Whitley County. And evidently there's been quite a few mastodons that were found in Whitley County.
Neat.
Very fun.
Okay, we have moved inside the house now to the new display. It's the local legends room.
We have Oscar the Beast of Busco, and it was a huge turtle that was spotted in Folk Lake in Churubusco. It's become a part of our local legends because the turtle was never found, even though great effort was put forth to find it.
They say it was very, very, very large.
And Dean Jagger is one of Hollywood's favorite people in Whitley counties. He won an Oscar. He's been in many, many shows. We have a few of his lobby cards and posters here. And it's interesting that he was in The Robe, which was, it was made into a movie, which he starred in, or was in, but it was a book originally that was written by Lloyd Douglas, who's an author from Whitley County.
Who also had the world premiere of White Banners in Whitley County. And if you care to see it, we have a working script at the library from White Banners.
Ooh, I'm impressed.
Oh, this is cool.
A lot of his relatives still live in Whitley County.
Okay, on to the next.
This is about Keller Rocky, and he was a Marine who served in World War I and in World War II. And he was in charge of the Pacific Theater during World War II. That's an amazing thing when you think about little Whitley County and how many people from Whitley County changed the course of history.
Okay.
And then this is about Bill Schwartz, who he has this wonderful life story. He was born in Romania and came here with his family, and his brother, who was taller than he was, and Bill is probably 6'4". His brother didn't speak English, and Bill did. And when the basketball coach saw them, he said, "I want those boys on my team." And so Bill came along, mostly as an interpreter, but he talked about the night before they went to talk to the coach that they were holding the ball and they were kicking it because they were sure that that's how you played basketball. Bill's brother didn't do as well as Bill did, though. Bill still holds the highest points for basketball in Whitley County. He also went on to become a doctor, and he sang in a quartet that toured the United States. Just an amazing man. And he was here for our opening at the local Legends.
Oh, neat.
And then, of course, Leonard Barnum, another star in athletics. He was he played in what would become the Super Bowl. Before it was called the Super Bowl. He got the ring, and I think he got $504 for playing.
Oh, golly.
But he became a teacher here and helped to create more good citizens here in Whitley County. And then, of course, Jeannie Fricke. She is from South Whitley, and she is a singing star, a country western star. And she comes back to visit every now and then. She actually sang for President Reagan.
Okay.
So that's who's in there. The rest of the building is dedicated to Thomas Marshall and to other specific things. This room is the military room. And we have everything in here from the Revolutionary War battle to Afghanistan.
It's changed a little bit since we filmed the last time.
I bet.
This used to be your office.
That's right. Our newest donation is the uniform from Jim Banks, who is a congressman for Indiana. We have some of the weapons that were used in wartime. We have a Henry there. And we have weapons and uniforms and field items and that's a Civil War uniform. This is a Civil War uniform, but it's a reproduction. That one is real. A lot of the veterans give us their service medals and ribbons. We actually have a Purple Heart that someone gave us.
Wow.
Just an amazing act of kindness that they do by sharing that with the public. And this was put together by a couple of our board members, Chuck Jones and Russ Gilliam. They found some of the best things I think that we had in our collection to put out. So it's really interesting to see all these different things together.
Pith helmet and everything.
Mm-hmm. And then I just saw this. This is from the De La Baume battle site, which is a Revolutionary War site. I think there's only 4 in Indiana.
Wow.
4 of the sites.
All right.
I think the rest is pretty much the same.
Okay. I just have a question.
Yes.
Everybody asks me, what about the noose?
It's not on display at the moment, and it's from the last legal hanging in Whitley County. And we have the hood and the noose and the story that goes with it. You just have to come in and hear it.
There you go. So what are your hours that they can come in and see all this wonderful history?
The regular hours for the museum are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 to 5, and then Friday, 9 to noon. But if people call in, we'll make the extra effort and be here if they can't make it in during the regular hours.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. And if you get anything else good, we'll be back.
All right. Thank you.